More profitable and better run events. Are you looking for that at your club? Well, this week's guest is going to give you some tips. Here we go.
Welcome to Private Club Radio, your weekly source for industry education, news and discussion. Broadcasting from Tampa, Florida, ladies and gentlemen, here is your host, Gabriel Aloisi.
Well, this week's guest is a returning guest, Mr. Denny Corby of Corby Enterprises. He is a comedian and magician, has a really interesting show, which you can check out at dennycorby.com. But Denny is from Scranton, PA. He's traveled all over the world with a comedy and magic and mind reading show, primarily in the corporate and private club worlds. So give a warm welcome once again here to Denny Corby. Denny, welcome.
Oh, thank you so much for having me back. This is amazing.
Yeah, it's great to have you back, man. Your episode was one of my favorites from last season, so it's really good to have you back on here once again.
Oh, it's great to hear. Thank you so much. I was hoping that for this episode, I can come down to Tampa and we can record live, but maybe for the third time the charm.
I wish I could have gassed up my private jet for you, but unfortunately, it couldn't make it happen this time. No. So last time you were on, you gave us some amazing advice on how to throw better events at clubs, and I'd love for you to go through some updated ways that people can create better experiences and events at their club. So what do you got for me this week, Danny?
Yes, for sure. So you just kind of wrapped it up perfectly. Last time it was kind of how to throw better events. And this time, the past year and a half, 2 years since we last talked, I've been seeing and learning about some things that it's not so much about the actual club event, but how to enhance the club experience. So once you're putting on these great events, how do you enhance and create a better experience once they're kind of there? So I'm going to go over about 2, 3, maybe 4 things that I see clubs doing great and maybe some clubs doing not so great, and what they can do to enhance that. So the first thing is showcasing their club and their club room in different ways. I go into a lot of clubs and do some of the same clubs over and over again, once every year, once every other year. And you can just tell that the people are used to the same flow and formula. They come into this room, they get their cocktails, the bar's in the same place. They sit at their seats, and then the show happens. Whether it's a comedy show, dueling pianos, everything's just kind of the same. So I always tell and try to encourage clubs to use their club and their rooms in different ways. So just kind of throw off the flow, flip the script, and give your members a different experience than what they're used to. So, using maybe more than one different room. So if you have 2 rooms that are kind of maybe connected to each other, instead of just having the cocktail hour in the same room that their whole show and the whole event's going to be in, use the other side room for their cocktail hour, and then maybe open up the doors, or maybe there's some pipe and drape that separates the 2 rooms, and then the pipe and drape is open, and you kind of allow them to go in. Or, kind of speaking on that, just using the pipe and drape in general, I think is a great way to just enhance and make a whole room look and feel completely different. And then if you add some up lighting or just some other type of LED lighting that's now super affordable these days, getting like LED strip bars for on the ground. You can even have your own where you kind of put them up on these makeshift, almost like speaker stands to use as nice lighting for stages and stuff. Any way that they can just make the whole experience and the whole room just look and feel better. Because not only will the club and the members kind of feel better about it, because now they're like, oh, something special is happening. But more importantly, I think, is your showcasing your club in a different way that hopefully the members can then see how they can use the club differently for their own events that they might want to do, which is kind of the whole reason for doing club events too. In my opinion, it's, utilizing the club in different ways, and hopefully your members can see how they can use it for their events too.
Yeah, I love that.
So it's kind of the first one. So I don't know if you want to add anything to that too, that you've maybe experienced or learned about.
I just can see the zombies with their arms out in front of them, going from cocktail hour to the event, and this would definitely break that up. That's pretty funny. So I love that one. So yeah, what's number 2 on your list, Denny?
Number 2, and this is the one thing I think that kills most events, or I would just say probably kills most events, is not having a high quality photographer or videographer come to the event to capture what's actually happening. Oftentimes, and you've probably seen it before on some of the club's social medias, but, they'll just either have a really old cell phone, I feel like, or just a really good camera that no one really knows how to use. And they just give it to, the membership person, and they say, hey, go and take some photos.
Just tell Julie to take some pictures.
Pretty much. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think doing something is better than doing nothing. But oftentimes they're just kind of capturing photos of just like random people just doing things, like staring off, or they're capturing weird moments, and they're not really capturing the experience that's happening for their member event that is going on. So I just think when you can just have somebody come in who understands lighting, who understands the different moments and beats and atmosphere of an event and what you're trying to accomplish, that could just transform the event into something that's so much better. And not so much for that actual event right there, but for future events. Because, a really bad photo, I guess, is better than not having anything at all. But when you have some really good photos taken of events, then the members who didn't show up go, oh man, that event looked really fun. We should have went. Look at all those people laughing and smiling and having a good time. Look at the decorations. Look at, everyone's dancing and having a good time. When you can capture those moments and the lighting looks right, everything just looks good, it looks so much better on social media. It looks so much better for the members, but also that's just amazing collateral to have for when prospective members are coming in or people are thinking about joining. You can say, hey, check out our social media. Look at the amazing events that we do. Or you can print them out and put them in a book, or however people do their membership sales. But it's just a great way to kind of capture everything that's going on, especially nowadays with how easy it is to get access to these people. So I've been telling clubs, if you don't take or know anybody who takes great photos, ask your staff. Maybe there's a server or somebody else who works for the club part-time, who maybe their side hustle or their side gig, or they're trying to become, a full-time photographer or videographer, and they might need to, start building up their portfolio. So give them the opportunity to take some good shots for the club at a couple events. And among the same thing, ask some of their members. Maybe there's a stay-at-home mom or dad, or just a mom or a dad who happens to have like a passion for video or passion for photography, and for a fee will just come and take great photos. And there's also just amazing websites like Thumbtack and Gigmasters where you can just get access to these people. And I'm always one to say, don't always go for the cheapest, but probably in the range of $150 to $1,500 is what people could probably expect. Probably obviously a lot more depending on what they need. But I think if you can find someone local who's trying to build their portfolio, and if you can say maybe after a trial night or two, say, hey, this is really good. We do 5 events a month. What type of deal can we work out for you to come in to film or video or do whatever for all 5-hour events? So I just think it's super important, especially these days in the age of social media and all that, just to have amazing photos and amazing videos taken.
That's such a good point. I mean, you're right on there, Denny. And us doing the marketing, it would make our lives so much easier if we had wonderful photos. And so I think the problem that maybe managers get into is they don't see the ROI. Like, what's it, we're going to pay $500 or $750 for a photographer for a night. What are we going to get out of it? Well, just like you said, I mean, it helps the marketing. It helps the prospective members get a sense of a feel for the club. So I would consider that part of the marketing budget. The membership and marketing budget is to have great event photos. It's a wonderful tip. So what else you got for us, Denny?
For sure. And actually, I just thought about this too, especially with, the age of the internet. If you have somebody who's, always taking the photos, maybe it's the membership person, Julie, and they don't want to hire somebody else to come in. They just don't see the ROI of it. With sites like I think it's Udemy, there's a bunch of just online sites. And even just with YouTube, you can type in your camera and it'll tell you, like, people will show you how to take better photos. So even if you don't want to hire somebody else, encourage who's ever taking the photos to learn how to take better photos, because that's just not only going to help your club, it's going to help the membership and everybody else involved also. That's right.
Give them a couple classes. Get them enrolled in a local photography club. That'd be great.
Exactly. And then the kind of last one I have is don't send poorly designed invites to your members. I just think having a really good invite make or breaks the attendance. And same thing with we were just talking about before with the videographers and photographers is, reach out to your staff, reach out to your members. A lot of these kids now these days who are like 13, 14, 15 are dangerous with Photoshop and using design skills, and just the access to these people that, there's no reason why you should still be using clip art to make your invites for your events. So yeah, I think it just make or breaks the whole kind of system there. And just having a really nicely designed invite where the colors work with each other. They're using, complementary colors,
yep.
And fonts and everything. Like I've seen some where it's just, there's so much information trying to be jam-packed into like a little, 5 by 8 inch piece of paper that they're trying to send everything out to. Just using different, go on Gigmasters, Thumbtack, there's Fiverr. There's so many different ways to get a really good designer. And I just think it's silly not to. Even if it costs you like maybe what it costs like for like one single ticket, it's still worth it just to have somebody make a really nicely designed invite.
100%. The other piece of advice I'd give people there is you could hire a graphic designer or an agency to just design you some templates. Maybe you need, 10 or 12 templates of what, designs for events might look like. And then you get someone in-house there just to execute the little details every year. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel and create something new every single event, but you've got something you can go to that's going to match your brand, that has the right colors, the right fonts, and really speaks the message of your club. So another great point there, Denny.
That's a great add-on there too, which is absolutely genius. To have kind of like a bank of different ones, and whatever event you want to do, you just kind of plug and play.
Yeah.
It's absolutely genius.
Yeah. You got to have that kind of stuff. And it'll cut down on your overall cost, and time, which is everybody's challenge these days. And is there anything else that you got for folks out there?
Yes. So I actually just joined a private club myself right outside Scranton in a little town called Wilkes-Barre, PA, and it's called the Westmoreland Club. It's a little city club near us. And I did a talk for a CMAA group a couple weeks ago, and the club that I'm a part of does a ton of really successful events. I think they do over 70 events a year.
Wow.
At this club. So I reached out to the GM there. And I just said, hey, what do you do? Like, how do you do so many successful events here? And you always get a really good turnout. So I asked him, like, what do you do differently than most clubs, do you think? And he goes, excuse the language, but one of the main things he said, and the main takeaway I took from it is, he said, we don't half-ass anything. We go all in with every single event that we do. So, there's even to the minute details of things, they always take everything into account, from themed drinks to the band that they hire or the acts that they bring in. They take such pride in detail into those little details. So, if it's a comedy magic night, having special drinks, the magic martini, the top hat, and that allows the bartenders there to kind of have some fun and get creative and make their own drinks as well. So, if it's a jazz night, make sure you're actually bringing in a really good jazz band. If it's a blues night, make sure you're bringing in a blues band. Just, really taking time to really think about the details of the event, and then think about how you could really go all in and not just make it seem like there's just another run-of-the-mill event. It's every event that we do is special. How can we, take it a little step further? How can we make it 2% better than last time? So that was like a really big takeaway that I took from what he was saying. So
yeah,
that's kind of something I wanted to share with the hive mind also.
Well, Denny, you've got a ton of great advice as always. And the reason you do is because you're at clubs a lot putting on some of these performances. So I'd love for you to tell folks about what it is you do.
Sure thing. So I do a really interactive comedy magic and mind reading show. It's more comedy magic than comedy magic and mind reading. There's a couple kind of quote unquote mind reading shows, but it's just using magic, psychology, suggestion to give the illusion. of mind reading. And I've been told by a lot of my club clients it's part improv, part stand-up comedy, and part magic.
And all awesome.
And to me, it's just really, yeah. Hopefully, yes. But I just love going into clubs and just helping them have really fun, successful events for their members or member guests or whatever type of event that they're doing in their club. Because that's why people join clubs, is just for those one-off experiences, for those experiences that they can have in their club that they can't get anyplace else. So, it's just doing events like that. And, we live in an age where, people watch so much TV and they're glued to their smartphones, where we can all just come together and just enjoy this really interactive experience. It's not even like going to a play where, most plays aren't even interactive. You have to sit there and watch. This is where, I love to go out into the crowd and, use people for most of my routines. I'd say probably about 95 to most of them. I'm either using people from the audience or using the whole audience as a whole, using 1 to 5 people up on stage with me, because that's what it's about. It's about the members having a really good time. So when I get emails from clubs saying, "Oh, thank you, I've been flooded with emails," or I already got, emails from half the people who came saying how much fun it was. Like, it's not so much about me, but the fact I can help clubs just have these really cool events and just help them show their members why they're members kind of makes it worth it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And some really exciting news. You've got a television appearance coming up soon, don't you?
Yes, very, very soon. I will be appearing on the television show Penn and Teller Fool Us. So I'm super pumped about that. Unfortunately, I don't have a date yet. They just said sometime between June, July, August, and September. So
all right, well,
pretty much sometime this year it'll be airing. So that's going to be on the CW network. So I'm super, super pumped about that.
Awesome. CW. That's pretty cool, man. That's really awesome. Now you've got also, before I let you go, you've got an amazing offer that you did last time you were on the show. And I hope people took you up on it, but you'll actually fly out to a CMAA chapter event and perform for them and give them a little taste of what you do. So how does that work?
Yes. So last time I offered to come out to do any CMAA chapter events, whether it's one of their monthly events or, sometimes they do, things quarterly or yearly. The offer is I will come out completely on my dime. I've had some clubs just want straight entertainment for the evening. I've done some where it's kind of been half and half. So they want me to come in and talk kind of just what we've talked about with some of these podcast episodes that you and I have done. And then, obviously mixing in some parts of my comedy, magic, and mind reading show. The offer is if they would like to reach out, I will come out completely for free. If they want to, pick up travel or hotel, that would be awesome, but it's not expected. But yeah, so if they want to reach out, they can get me on my website or email. So it's dennycorby.com or denny@dennycorby.com. And even if they just want to chat or, might not even want to book yet, there's zero pressure. I love just talking with people and helping them out. So
that's such an amazing offer, Denny. So the other thing you've got is something special for our listeners, Private Club Radio listeners out there. So what can you do for them? Yeah,
for sure. So once the TV appearance airs, my rates are going to be going up just for obvious reasons. I know I'm going to be swamped with events, but also the national TV appearance will help bring in members for the event too. But if any clubs want to reach out and have me for their event and they heard me on your podcast here, I will throw in a couple little extra bonuses and goodies. So if they want to reach out, I'll be more than happy to kind of go over that with them.
That's awesome, Denny. Very generous of you. And I really do hope if you're listening to this show that you reach out to Denny. Even if it doesn't work out, I think it's worth you talking to Denny. He's got amazing advice that he'd love to share with you on how to throw better events. And that phone call alone will be well worth your time. So check him out at dennycorby.com. Denny, it was amazing to have you on as a guest once again here on Private Club Radio, man.
Thank you so much for having me. I truly appreciate it. It's always a blast on here.
Great to have you. If you liked what Denny had to say, I'd also recommend you check out his Instagram account. It's just Denny Corby, like his name. And it's really fun. He shows you behind the scenes of some of his performances. He gives you a few magic tricks here and there. And it's just a lot of fun. Check him out on Instagram. I'll catch you back here next week. And until then, here's to your membership success.
Private Club Radio is brought to you by Concert Golf Partners, helping to preserve and enhance private golf and country clubs. Concert Golf has the capital, expertise, and private club hospitality experience to help upscale private clubs achieving long-term success and membership growth. For 25 years, Concert Golf has allowed private club members to focus on simply enjoying their club. Visit concertgolfpartners.com to learn more about the recapitalization process.